Once upon a time, in a land filled with sunshine and golden sands, there was a magical place called Ancient Egypt. It was a land of wonders where tall pyramids touched the sky and mighty pharaohs ruled. In a small, cozy town far from Egypt lived a curious little boy named Sammy. Sammy loved adventures and dreamt of exploring faraway places. One night, as he gazed at the stars, he whispered, "I wish I could visit ancient Egypt." Suddenly, a shimmering light appeared in his room, and a friendly voice said, "Your wish is my command, Sammy." In a blink, Sammy found himself standing in the middle of a bustling Egyptian market. The air was filled with the scents of spices and the sounds of merchants selling colorful fabrics and shiny trinkets. Sammy was amazed. He had traveled back in time to ancient Egypt. As he wandered through the market, Sammy met a kind Egyptian boy named Khepri. Khepri had bright eyes and a warm smile. "Welcome to our land of wonders," said Khepri. "Let me show you around." Their first stop was the magnificent pyramids. They were giant triangles, perfectly built, reaching towards the sky. Sammy learned that these were tombs for the pharaohs, the kings of Egypt. Workers had built them with huge blocks of stone, and it took many years to complete just one pyramid. Khepri then took Sammy to see the Sphinx, a giant statue with the body of a lion and the head of a human. "It's said to be a guardian of the pyramids," explained Khepri. Sammy was in awe of its size and the mystery it held. Next, they visited the River Nile, the longest river in the world. Khepri told Sammy that the Nile was the lifeline of Egypt, providing water for crops and transportation. They saw farmers on the banks, planting and harvesting crops, and fishermen casting their nets. As the sun began to set, they arrived at a grand palace. This was where the pharaoh lived. The pharaoh was the ruler of Egypt and was considered a god on earth. Sammy was excited to see the pharaoh, who was dressed in fine linen and a golden crown. The pharaoh welcomed Sammy and Khepri and shared stories of ancient Egypt. He told them about the gods and goddesses they worshipped, like Ra, the sun god, and Isis, the goddess of magic. Sammy listened, fascinated by these tales of gods and their powers. As night fell, they all sat down for a feast. There were dishes Sammy had never seen before, like bread made from emmer wheat and honey cakes. They ate and laughed, and Sammy felt like he was part of a grand adventure in history. After the feast, Khepri showed Sammy how to write in hieroglyphics, the picture language of ancient Egypt. Sammy wrote his name using small pictures of birds, snakes, and other symbols. It was like a secret code. Before leaving, Sammy and Khepri went on a camel ride across the desert. The stars shone brightly above them, and the cool night air was refreshing after the hot day. Sammy felt a sense of peace and wonder as he looked at the endless desert around him. As their adventure came to an end, Khepri said, "I hope you will always remember your journey to ancient Egypt, Sammy." Sammy nodded, feeling grateful for this incredible experience. Suddenly, the shimmering light appeared again, and Sammy heard the friendly voice say, "It's time to return home." In an instant, he was back in his room, with the stars twinkling outside his window. Sammy smiled as he fell asleep, holding on to the memories of his amazing journey to ancient Egypt. He dreamt of pyramids and pharaohs, of the Nile and the Sphinx, and of his new friend Khepri. And he knew that in his dreams he could always return to the magical land of ancient Egypt. The end.